Welcome to Family Gamer TV. We're at the PlayStation After press conference party. Now, the Sony press conference had quite a different feel to Microsoft, with a real festival atmosphere as things kicked off, and a real sense of anticipation about what was going to be revealed. And what was revealed was relatively similar to Microsoft in that there's a real focus on games and on extending the PlayStation platform, in conjunction though with their trump card, perhaps, the PlayStation Vita. Now, I was really taken by some of the extensions of existing features where the PlayStation 3 and the PS Vita work together. So there's this cross-play feature, what we're going to be seeing in Little Big Planet 2 with a downloadable update that we saw on Wipeout 2048, where players can compete against each other by playing both on the PlayStation Vita or on the PlayStation 3. They also were talking about the PlayStation Plus, which is being expanded and has the option of cloud saves. But a new feature in this area is the cross-controller, so where the PlayStation Vita becomes a controller for your PlayStation 3. Now, I really enjoyed Uncharted Golden Abyss on the Vita, and I love the way you could use the gyroscope to dial in the aiming and get really accurate. And actually, I would prefer that on the PlayStation 3. So I'm excited to hear that they're using their portable in a similar way to what Wii U is for Nintendo, and in a similar way to Smart Glass, as recently announced by Microsoft. Now, I was really excited to hear about a new game from Quantic Dream. Now, recently they released a tech demo called Kara, where they were showing the sort of live animation they can produce on the PlayStation 3 now. But they unveiled their full follow-up to Heavy Rain, which is a game called Beyond, which focuses on a young girl who has got some sort of connection to the other world. And I was really interested to hear David Cage talking about games for grown-ups and games that dealt with grown-up issues like what happens after we die. And so I think as this character goes on her journey, that's the sort of questions that this game's going to be asking and potentially offering some answers to. There was a big positive response to the announcement that Ellen Page would be voicing and motion capturing for the main character. And it's good to see Quantic Dream recognising that they need a quality storytelling and quality performances if they're going to raise the bar, and if they're going to create a game that really does address a grown-up, an adult audience. But I think that the real exciting thing about the Sony press conference was a new peripheral, which is used in conjunction with the Move controller, called Wonderbook. Now, this is a book-like object which you can turn pages on. The pages start off blank, but by putting it in front of the PlayStation 3 camera, on the screen of your TV, a little bit like iPad, the book comes to life and all sorts of things pop up off the page and you can interact with it, and essentially it creates a new way to tell stories. And I love the idea that we're taking the book metaphor and actually using that in a much more playful way and incorporating that into the video game world. But their first title is from J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter series, and it's called Book of Spells, and connects to her Pottermore online website to offer a fresh way to engage with the sort of Harry Potter world and the universe, and to find out how to cast these spells and the sort of story behind them. But also offers an interactive way to learn sort of wand skills, and all sorts of fantastical things in the Harry Potter universe pop off the page and engage with the player, as you can see. I was excited to hear that Wonderbook would be available this autumn, 2012. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing what new gameplay possibilities and potentially what new storytelling possibilities that offers. The Sony press conference was rounded off with a bang with a live gameplay from Last of Us, which is the game from the creators of the Uncharted games, Naughty Dog. Now, I was slightly worried that it would go down a derivative route and perhaps would just be another Uncharted game but with different characters. But the pacing here is much slower, and the fact that the two protagonists, Joel and Ellie, stay in close proximity to each other and have very clear roles. Joel's the protector and Ellie's the sort of almost like he's not actually his daughter, but that's how the relationship feels, means that the game proceeds at a different pace, and the player has to take much more care over ammunition. And you can see in this section, when they find a gun, it's a big deal, and they have to use it sparingly. The way that the player interacts with the environment seems to have been enhanced. The cover system, peering around corners, just feels much more atmospheric. And moments of interaction and combat with enemy characters, like the moment where Joel reaches over, much like Nathan Drake would do, to stealth attack someone. The dispensing of the enemy there is much longer. There's much more sort of visceral connection to what's going on. I think because of this, you do feel more connected and are slightly more unsettled by the violence that's happening in front of you as you're proceeding through the world. And I think that's probably intentional on the part of Naughty Dog, but it'd be interesting to see how players respond to that. So I think overall, the Sony press conference, I was impressed with new titles, Beyond from Quantic Dream, and to see more of Last of Us from Naughty Dog. But innovations like Wonderbook, along with the ongoing interaction between the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita, I think really stands Sony in good stead to really capitalise on some of this technology that they've got in place. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on those games and on those peripherals on the show floor, and I'll be reporting back. So that's all we've got time for on this episode of Family Gamer TV, but we'll be back with more soon.